Okay, so I lowered the required bitrate even more. We'll see if that helps. All right, I think we're good. Right. I don't think you want him to answer that question. Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions. Should I should stop him from answering. My client had no idea the victim was seeing other men. That question is irrelevant to this case. Oof. Dude, Nick, what do you mean irrelevant? That cheating she-dog. I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna drop dead. Yeah, and what I meet her in the aftermath, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. Oh, in the afterlife. That's what he said. Okay. I believe the accused motive is clear to everyone. Yes, quite. Oh boy. This is so not looking good. Next question. You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder. Did you not? Gulp. Well, did you? Or did you not? And Snicker stream disconnected again. We had it for a moment there. If I could just like reduce the image quality. Can I reduce the image quality to 1? I want to see what will happen. Oh my god, the FPS is so much higher now. Too bad it's not showing on screen. The FPS actually looks pretty decent on it too. I wouldn't connect. Well, at least I didn't disconnect entirely. I'm still dropping a ton of frames. I wish there was an easier way for me to do this. Okay, well, did you or did you not? Well, maybe I did and maybe I didn't. Uh-oh. He went. What do I do? I know. I'll send him a signal. Tell the truth. Or yeah, I was there. I went. Order. Well, Mr. Butts? Dude, chill. She wasn't home, man. So, like, I didn't see her. Just when I thought it might be okay. Oh, it's in the green again, and now it's not. Alright, let's see if I can do this. Top screen's not showing. Still the same one. Also, I have another format where like you can see the bottom screen focused on if necessary. So like I can switch between the two really easily. Which would have been really nice if I could just get the top screen to show. Okay, what if I change this from game capture to something else? What if I change it to window capture? Now it actually shows figures. Hey, I'll take it. Alright. Nope. Nope. Just trying to get this to run properly. Ugh. Apparently, streaming wirelessly from your 3DS to your PC takes up a lot of bandwidth. It's a problem. Lying. 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 It's actually not showing. It's not changing. The prosecution would like to call a witness who can prove Mr. Butts is lying. Well, that simplifies matters. Who is your witness? Who is your witness? The man who found the victim's body just before making the gruesome discovery. He saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime. Order! Order in the court. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its witness. Yes, Your Honor. This is bad. On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's building. Please bring Mr. Frank Sawit to the stand. Mr. Sawit, you sell newspaper subscriptions, is this correct? Oh yes, newspapers, yes. Mr. Sawit, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder. So now he's giving his testimony, where we just like pay attention to what he says, and then we can cross-examine him later. I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remembered the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. The man who ran was without a doubt the defendant sitting right over there. Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against a testimony like that. Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working? Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building. Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout? Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Sawit used was one of those. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your perusal? Perusal. Blackout record added to the court record. Now, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. You may begin your cross-examination. Cross-examination, Your Honor? Alright, Wright. This is it. The real deal. What am I supposed to do? Why, you exposed the lies in the testimony the witness just gave. Lies? What? He was lying? Your client is innocent, right? Then that witness must have lied in his testimony. Or is it your client is really guilty? How do I prove he's not? You hold the key. It's in the evidence. Compare the witness's testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction in there. First, find contradictions between the court record and the witness's testimony. Then, once you've found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it in the witness's face. Okay. Touch the court record button and point out contradictions in the testimony. Here's the cross-examination. I've never actually done one of these before, so I'm excited. I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. And then I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. Find the evidence that contradicts his testimony and present it to the courts. Alright. My first hold it. The phone in her apartment wasn't working? Yes. I mean, no. No, it wasn't. Right. But you said you didn't go into the apartment. Or did you? Oh, that? I can explain that. There was a cordless phone on a shelf in the entranceway. I reached inside and tried using that to call. And that phone wasn't working, correct? What happened next? Okay, well, how do you remember the time? 1 p.m., are you certain? Yes, absolutely. He seems really confident. 1 p.m.? Right, doesn't that seem strange to you? Present some evidence to contradict him. Alright. Oh yeah, the autopsy report. Oh no. The screen's gone. Again. Just as I was getting to like the evidence. I was getting to the evidence. Alright. Oh, come on, really? That's just a meme. That's just a meme that I have there. And now it's not showing up again. Oh man. Don't make me have to pirate this game. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Why does my computer have to be so far away from the router? Why can't I just plug it into like an Ethernet cable? Alright, I'm gonna try NTR viewer again. Yeah, now it's showing up. Alright. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. And I've got some evidence that contradicts that. Almost had it. Oh. Oh, we had it for like a second. I guess I have to like add this again too. Alright. Just give me a sec. Oh, right. Wrong one. This is actually supposed to be the top. Okay, that'll do. Alright. So the autopsy report says that the time of death was 4 to 5 p.m. You found the body at 1 p.m., you're sure? Yes, it was 1 p.m. for certain. Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time of death at sometime after 4 p.m. There was no body to find at 1 p.m. How do you explain this 3-hour gap? Oh, that. Oh, This is trivial. The witness merely forgot the time. After his testimony, I find it hard to believe. Mr. Sowit, why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.? Gee, that's a really good question. Great job, Wright. Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out contradictions. Lies always beget more lies. See through one, and their whole story falls apart. Wait, I remember now. Would you care to give your testimony again? Alright, we get another testimony. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a taped program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. Okay, now this one's easy because there was a power outage. You heard a voice saying the time on a taped program. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Right. You know what to do. I've got this one. Here we go. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Nope, not the autopsy reports. It's on the blackout record. It was out from noon to 6 p.m. Objection! Hold it right there. The prosecution said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery. And this record proves it. You couldn't have heard a television or a video. Gah. Well, the defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Sawit? No, I find it quite puzzling myself, quite. Ah, wait, I remember now. Mr. Sawit, the court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. That, and you seem rather distraught. My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body. Very well, Mr. Sawit. Let's hear your testimony once more, please. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw. You saw a clock? I guess that would explain it. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Gladly. Here we go. Another cross-examination. And all I have to do is present the murder weapon. Wait just a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was the statue. Now how is this supposed to be a clock? What? You with your objections and your evidence. Just who do you think you are? Screen's frozen. You know, I'm just gonna go to the next one. Just answer the question, Mr. Sawit. Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock. Your Honor, if I may. Yes, Mr. Payne? As the witness stated, this statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it, and it says the time out loud. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submitted it as a statue. My apologies. I see. So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with this testimony now? Well, let's go through the court record. Alright. So let's see here. Yes, actually, probably. I would say so. Your Honor, there is a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testified he never entered the apartment. Clearly a contradiction. Indeed. The witness knew it was a clock because because he went into the apartment. You're lying. You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder. Oh yeah? Prove it. Prove I went in there. I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with the clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard. Order in the court. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Sawit, the sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time. What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture. Baseless? Just look at the witness's face. Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock? That day, I never. Look, the clock. I heard, no, I saw, Gwa! And then he takes off his toupee. Shut up, shut up, shut up, I hate you. It was him, I tell you. I saw him. He killed her, and he should burn. Burn! Give him death. Word. Come on. You're gonna be stuck on that gray screen now? Order in the court, I say. Your Honor, a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claims. Mr. Wright, Your Honor, you claim the sound the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? The whole case is riding on this. I better think through it carefully. Your Honor, the sound Mr. Sawit heard was definitely this clock. A fact which is clear if you simply try sounding the clock. Let's sound the clock now, here in this court. Your Honor, may I have the clock? I ask the court to listen very carefully. I think it's 8:25. That is certainly a strange way to announce the time. Well, he is the thinker after all. So you've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now? It's 11:25. As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Sawit heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Sawit, try to talk your way out of this one. Ha! Ha ha! You forgot one thing. Uh-oh. What's he talking about now? While it may seem like the clock is running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case. He's right. How am I going to prove that? Damn it. I was so close. Mr. Wright, it seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim. Yes, Your Honor. This means I cannot let you indict the witness. Unfortunately. This ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Sawit. I come all the way down here to testify, and look what happens. You treat me like a criminal. A criminal. You lawyers are all slime. Grr. I almost had him. Sorry, Larry. I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now. Not so fast, Mr. Sawit. Chief. Listen up, Wright. Don't throw this one away. Not like this. Think. But Chief, it's over. I can't prove the clock was slow the day of the murder. Nobody can prove that. Well, yes. But that doesn't mean you still can't win. Try thinking out of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow and think through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason and you'll have your proof. Right? Can you think of a reason as to why the clock would be 3 hours slow? Yep. Wait. Maybe I can prove it. You must have evidence somewhere that can prove it, right? Find it and let them have it. Well, Mr. Wright, you say the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Have you found evidence to support this claim? Of course. There's a piece of evidence in the court record that can prove my claim beyond a doubt. Ha! Tough words. Let's see you pull this one off. Let's see this evidence that proves why the clock was running slow. Oh man. I really gotta think about this. Loss of blood due to blunt trauma. It's a heavy statue. Oh, shoot! That's right, the victim arrived home from Paris the day before the murder. This is it. It's the passport. The victim had just returned home from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. When it's 4 p.m. here, it's 1 a.m. the next day there. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow, it was 9 hours fast. The victim hadn't reset her clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in her apartment was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Sawit? Or should I say Mr. Did It? Oh man, the guy, whew. He started foaming at the mouth. Order, I say. Well, this case has certainly turned out differently than we all expected. Mr. Payne, your witness? He was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. I have to say, I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly and find the true culprit at the same time. Thank you, Your Honor. At this point, this is only a formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butts, not guilty. And with that, this court is adjourned. Turns out that Frank Sawit was a common burglar. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check and see when people were out of the house that day. When Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Sawit let himself in to do his dirty work. While he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Sawit grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find. Whew. I still can't believe we won. Right. Good job in there. Congratulations. Thanks, Chief. I owe it all to you. Not at all, not at all. You fought your own battles in there. It's been a while since I've seen a trial on such a satisfying note. I've never seen the Chief looking this happy. If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel. My life is over. Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong now? Aw, Nick. Don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon. Good. Wait, no, I mean bad. Bad. Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed. But my Cindy Windy's gone, man. Gone forever. Larry, she was a... Nah, never mind. Congratulations, Harry. Harry? Yes, you. I can practically see the headlines now. Harry Butts. Innocent. Thanks. I really owe you one. I won't forget this ever. Let's celebrate. Dinner? Movie? My treat. Oh no, I couldn't. Hey, I was the one who got you off the hook. Oh, hey. Here, take this. It's a present. A present? For me? Wait, wasn't this the evidence that... Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me. Really? You made this? Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento. Yo, Nick, can you believe it? I was so into that chick. And she was just playing me for a fool. Don't that make you just want to cry? Larry, are you so sure? Excuse me? I think she thought quite a lot of you, in her own way. Nah, you don't gotta sympathize with me. It's okay. Oh, I'm not just sympathizing, really. Isn't that right? Right? Don't you have something to show your friend? Something that proves how she felt about him? Huh? Oh yeah, right. What the heck is she talking about? It's probably the statue. Alright, see you later, Psycho Wolf. I gotta get going to bed soon, too. I'm gonna just finish this off, and then I'll be off. Check this out, Larry. Proof positive you weren't just some chump to her. What about that clock? This is the clock you made for her, Larry. And she took it with her when she traveled. Whatever, she probably just needed a clock, that's all. You think so? It's a pretty heavy clock to take traveling. Well, make of it what you will. Hey Nick, I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer. Really, I am. Thanks. Hope that made him feel a little better. Right? I hope you see the importance of evidence now. Also, hopefully you realize things change depending on how you look at them. People too. We never really know if our clients are guilty or innocent. All we can do is believe them. And in order to believe them, you have to believe in yourself. Right. Listen, learn, grow strong. Never let go of what you believe in. Never. Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be off? Yeah, I guess so. So how about dinner? On me? We'll drink a toast to the innocent butts. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Harry, you were saying a part of why you became a lawyer was because of him. Yeah, part at least. You'll have to tell me more about it sometime. Maybe over drinks? And so, my first trial came to a close. Larry slapped me on the back and said, "Gee, Nick, it's good to have friends. But I'm pretty sure he's not gonna pay us, unless you count the clock he gave Mia." I didn't know it then, but that clock was soon going to be at the center of another incident. And my promise to tell the chief about me and Larry would be one promise that I wouldn't be able to keep. The end. Of this trial, at least. And a brand new episode has been added. Nope. Yes. Save, please. I didn't actually want to start Turnabout Sisters. Good. Okay. So the first Turnabout, that's all finished. All said and done. And then Turnabout Sisters, that's the second one. Second episode. I don't know what I'm gonna do next time I try to stream this. I might try and run it like on my laptop, but my laptop's kind of crappy. At least then I could plug it into an Ethernet cable, but then I also have to worry about like privacy. I really don't know. I really don't know what I'd do at this point. But I do know what I should do now, and that's go to bed. So that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. Alright. Thanks so much for showing up, guys. I really appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun. And I'm glad that I could actually get through an episode this time. We'll see if I can do anything to improve the stream next time. Because, yeah. The disconnects were pretty annoying. But maybe it'll all be worth it. Who knows?